kind of watch, wait for traffic to clear, and then ready to move up, and then you stand up again. It's just, that's the only downer for me in that window seat. The only plus I see for sitting in the aisle for me would be to directly cut off that guy. So yeah, who's trying to move up. If I would take great pleasure in seeing this guy maneuver. He's gone up 3-4 aisles already, and then boom, my big ass steps out there and he can get past it.
Yeah. How do these people not know? You know, like I brought up, I think a few months ago, like how did the person in the left lane driving slow, how does he not know? Like no one's ever informed him in his life, a passenger, a friend, a family member.
That you do not cruise in this lane. This is a passing lane.
Someone behind you speed up, just get out of the lane, you can get back in after you want. The guy in the plane, how does that guy not know, like, Doug, that's exactly what happens. They get one row up, maybe?
And the
Are
thing
you
is,
kidding me?
it moved very quickly. From row 30 to row 29, he hustled.
Yeah.
One row.
I despise that guy, and I'm so glad for guys like you, Peter. I'll do it too. But it's like, I'm not trying to get into any physical competition, but this is my spot. I'm ahead of you, and I'm also waiting.
Right.
You know, like we're just all waiting our turn here, man. Nobody's more special than anybody else.
I'm stoked about this scenario.
Yeah. And the guy who stands up 15, 20 minutes to not go anywhere. Yeah, you're right. You just kind of wait.
Maybe he just wants to stretch his legs. Maybe he's on a window seat, wanting to get out of the window so he can stand up upright for a while.
How would someone quickly out of a window seat?
Probably not. Probably not.
All right, Gator. Saw this today. Max Bolton of The Athletic did like a Q&A with fans. Beat writer. And one of the questions was about free agents. Let's see if I can find the question. Tom Morris asked him the question. Do you think Yzerman could sign a mid to high-end free agent this offseason? Palatine in particular comes to mind. If Tampa feels the squeeze, he could certainly shore up areas like late lead protection and secondary scoring, similar to him signing Filppula in Tampa in 2013. So this question was it was actually two questions. Another guy, Steven Schultze, asked about how they were kind of ahead of schedule, and maybe that would expedite, trying to make a free agent sign. And Boltman answers all the reasons why they are ahead of schedule, and then writes, so is it the time to go big game hunting in free agency? Now, before I read the answer, do you think it's the time to go big game hunting in free agency for the Red Wings?
Yeah, why not? Let's get a superstar here. I like the idea. I think this team is this close to being a playoff team, and if you were to add a superstar player, then they're definitely a playoff team, and once you're in a playoff start, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. The NHL, I think you're not a championship contender unless you're on one of the top 2-3 seeds.
Yeah, you need multiple superstars in the NBA. The NHL, if you can, I can see this team with the core group of players that they have that I'm excited about. If they were to add a superstar player to the mix, then I think that they could maybe be contenders within a couple of seasons, couple 3 seasons.
Red Wings will have, the first thing I thought was, okay, can this be realistically done? I know they have cap space, but how much? They have $37.37 million in cap space, according to Spot Track, and that is fourth in the league. So there would be some other teams that can spend more, but they're in a pretty healthy position. Baldwin writes, the Red Wings have enough cap space to do it, but being highly disciplined the past few off seasons. But I'm still skeptical they'll go after the top end of the market. Junior requires both long-term and high dollars. The reason is simple enough. While improved, I still wouldn't say the Red Wings are one big piece away from being a top contender in the next year or two. Signing, say, a Philip Forsberg, Thomas Hertl, or Hampus Lindholm could very well be enough to get them into the playoffs. But if the Red Wings aren't in a position to seriously threaten the league's top teams in the first 2 or 3 years of such a deal, with a big free agent acquisition still in their prime, they might be putting themselves in a trickier situation down the line by tying up a significant portion of the cap before they have long-term deals in place for longer than choosing agreement inside. So it sounds like he's kind of against it. You do have to start budgeting in keeping your own guys. And that is one of the challenges, but leaving room to be a player in free agency. The more you stockpile from within, which they've done a good job of doing, the more cheap pieces help. I mean, when the Red Wings were competing, they made
sense. I'd love for them to go out and make a splash in free agency and bring a superstar player. I think that now, with all that cap space, that can make sense. There's no guarantees that you're going to want to re-sign all the players that you have that are coming up that the guys should mention, whether it's Larkin or Bertuzzi or whatever. They'll have other players that contracts and numbers come off the books. The guy's just going to come off the books at some point here, and they have to make decisions. At the same time, more of the younger players could be coming up because they did draft a bunch in the last couple of years.
Well, I went so far as to suggest a couple of guys that might make some sense. We'll get to those names today at 11:18. Plus, 11:35, Tom McShay said Chris Spielman told him this at the Senior Bowl. We'll get to that at 11:35 here at 97.1 The Ticket. Go for a huge score during the big game with BetMGM. Simply download the BetMGM app and place a $10 moneyline wager on pro football's final game. If either team scores a touchdown, you'll win $200 in free bets regardless of your wager's outcome. Just use bonus code SB200 when you make your first bet. You'll also earn BetMGM rewards points that you can redeem for room nights and dining at MGM resorts nationwide. Download the BetMGM app and use bonus code SB200 to win $200 if either team scores a touchdown in the big game. Only at BetMGM. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. This excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Maple Ridge Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Maple Ridge Medical.
That's white gold.
The Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces immediate results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever heard of it failing. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 313-403-3333. That's 313-403-3333. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Maple Ridge Medical Clinic now to qualify. 313-403-3333.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you. Experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause worries. With their expertise, a realtor can suggest a credit closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you sort out that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
The Winter Olympics are coming. 17 days of action, excitement, glory, and history in the making. Don't miss a single epic moment. The Winter Olympics continue tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Fellas, get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week.
Walk in anytime, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's quick and awesome.
Necessary Roughness with former NFL lineman DJ Lang and John Jansen. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
The guys we mentioned earlier, Forsberg, Hurdle, Lindholm, all those guys seem like they were 20 to 30 goal scorers, 25 to 30 goals, 27 years old, in that neighborhood. And then this group of players, you can tell, just not quite as productive. 15 to 20 goal guys. Andrew Kopp of Winnipeg is one, who's 27 years old. Vincent Trocheck from Carolina, who at one point early in his career was putting up some pretty big numbers, but now has kind of settled into a 10 to 20 goal guy. And Andre Palat, is that name got thrown out there a little bit earlier. So anyway, what are your thoughts?
Well, none of these guys are really moving the needle. With Andrew Kopp, he's playing a career high right now with 20 minutes a game. That's a lot of ice time. For a forward, so that's good, but he's never had a 20-goal season. He's as high as 15, which he did last year. He's got 28 points in 43 games this year. His plus-minus isn't anything to write home about. He's a plus player, but it's not by a lot. So they did a move like this, or of these players, that's not striking me as something that would be really awesome. Now, are these depth guys that you want? Are they guys that you're going to get cheap? It doesn't even seem that.
Well, here's the thing about it. I think all these players would help them. Kopp, Trocheck, Palat. Now, probably lean towards Trocheck, but if those guys would help them, the question becomes, do they help them enough to justify getting them in free agency and still leaving money to sign your own guys and go big game hunting following offseason? Because at some point, Yzerman's going to make that big signing, right? If somebody like 2 years away from free agency, then he's got his eye on. Steve, if you could call us and let us know who that is, we'd appreciate it. 248-539-9797, Mr. Yzerman, sir.
Yeah, now of the guys you mentioned, Trocheck is the one that has he's done the most in his career to this point. He's had a 30-goal season.
How long ago was that?
That was a while. It was 2017-18. He was a 31-goal scorer. The next year he only played 55 games and had 10 goals. The next year he played 55 games and had 10 goals. The next year he played 7 games. Last year he played 47, had 17 goals. This year he's played 44 and he's got 12. So I think there's an injury history. He got a as well. Again, none of these guys are moving the needle. I want to bag an elephant.
I get it. But do you understand the reasoning why maybe not this year?
I can see, sure. I'm just saying, I don't want to spend money on guys that aren't going to be. I'd rather see them promote from within. Go that route at this point if you're not going to go big.
Here's why I'm okay with not going big and signing a free agent. I do think it's important to lure in the big player that you at least make the playoffs next year. Like, if you're going to go big, is that guy going to come to a team that is still out of the playoffs? Just make sure that you are being able to sell that guy, hey, we've got the money, we've got the facility, we've got the young players that you want to play with, and we're close. You don't have to be like, finish second in the conference, but just make the playoffs, make sure that you check that box, and you can sell Detroit as the place that guy wants to be.
I would hope that the Red Wings are a playoff team next season. That's my hope. So I don't think they need to make any kind of big splash of free agency to get there. I think that they're close this year. The Verana, when he comes back to the lineup, it's going to feel like a trade deadline acquisition. When he comes back, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, return to one of the top two lines on the team, and we'll see what kind of balance they have and how much better they are with him in the lineup. It's some heavy lifting to get there this year. I don't think it's going to happen, but going to next season, I like what they have.
Well, so I'm willing to make the mid-level commitment to a player to help him make the playoffs, and you just prefer to promote from within.
You're saying for next season?
For this coming off season,
yeah, no.
Yeah. We'll see what Heisman does, because if he does what you say, boost to your... No, if he does what you say, which is just promote from within, or bag an elephant, then check plus to your hockey credibility. And if he does what I say, go mid-level, check plus to my hockey credibility. It's me versus you. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Rob, who's next here on 97.1. Hi, Rob.
Hey, guys. Just wanted to preface this by saying I'm a Blues fan. But last summer, Vladimir Tarasenko requested a trade out of St. Louis. He was unhappy with the way the team doctors handled shoulder injuries. And he's fine now. Playing through it, and he's getting along with everybody, but I think that request is still there. I'm not sure if that would be a needle mover or not. I know St. Louis does need left-hand defense and draft choices. Tarasenko's in his late 20s. I think he's got 1 or 2 more years on his contract for $6.5 or $7 million. But get your thoughts on that one, guys.
He's missed some games, right?
Yeah.
Over the last couple of years.
A lot.
Well, there you go. I want to talk to the Blues guy.
He played 80 games in 17-18. That dropped to 76 in 18-19. Not a big drop, but then dropped down to 10 in 19-20. And that was then the next year was last season. Only played 24 games. This year he's played in 40 games. He's got 15 goals in 40 games. So it's you try to do the math on that. That looks like it's a 30-goal season again. He's a quality player, but he's one-dimensional. He's an offensive player. He's not really known for his defense. He's 30 years old, and he's going to cost you a lot. But if you're looking for a sniper, here's a guy who has that reputation, but coming off of injuries. Is he fully back yet? He looks like he's back.
All right, Chris Spielman. Tom McShay said Chris Spielman told him, I like this. Got at the Senior Bowl. We'll play that for you. You can hear it coming up today at 11:35. Hey, Hall Financial, the most client-focused mortgage company in the industry, is now covering the cost of your appraisal, saving you up to $750. Over the last 2 years, home values have drastically increased, which means you could be sitting on thousands of dollars in untapped home equity. Right now, Cash Out Refi can help you get thousands to pay off debt or start a remodeling project. As home values and interest rates continue to rise, don't wait until spring to get started. Take the next step and chat with a 5-star team at callhallfirst.com. That's callhallfirst.com. With nearly 5,000 5-star reviews, why would you go anywhere else? Previous clients have said, quote, the best service ever. Hall Financial went above and beyond with helping financing and refinancing. We'll never use another company. Get started today and chat with the mortgage experts now at callhallfirst.com. That's callhallfirst.com. Or call 866-CALL-HALL. That's 866-CALL-HALL.
The big game is finally here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 56, is giving new customers 56-to-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 or more and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer? Bet on Super Bowl 56 props instead. DraftKings Sportsbook offers a wide range of props throughout the big game. Take your shot at winning cash by predicting props like if a non-quarterback will throw a pass, fourth down conversions, total yardage, and more. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code 971THETICKET and get 56-to-1 odds on either team. Bet just $5 or more and get $280 in free bets if your team wins. That's code 971THETICKET at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 800-270-7117. 21 and over. Michigan only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions.
A Duel in the Deep, presented by Meyer, featuring the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans, returns to Little Caesars Arena on Saturday, February 12th at 7 p.m. Witness the most played rivalry in the history of college hockey as the Mason Blue battle the green and white, the Iron D Trophy, and in-state bragging rights in the heart of the Motor City. Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss the ultimate annual Clash on Ice. Visit 313presents.com or Ticketmaster today.
There are times when it's hard to ignore that you may have a gambling problem. Like when you're at the casino and you've withdrawn the maximum amount from your ATM.
Withdrawal denied.
When you can't leave the tables, yet you don't know how you're going to put food on the table.
Credit card denied.
When you can't seem to pump brakes on gaming and then can't fill up your gas tank.
Transaction denied.
When you're so invested in gambling, you're not able to invest in your future. You're robbing yourself and those you love of a better life.
Approval denied.
Don't deny there's a problem any longer. If you or someone you love is struggling with a gambling problem, we can help you win your life back. For free confidential help, call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117 or visit michigan.gov/problemgambling. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Michael Perro National Benefit Plans. Call 877-734-2200.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5-Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
Maybe I shouldn't do this now because I don't want to sabotage what we're about to do with McShay, but I just won't take. Off the top of your head, do you know your driver's license number?
I do not.
Gang, off the top of